Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to another copious episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. Episode number 249. Yes, that is correct. Mysterious Mike and I have done almost 250 podcasts. Granted, he wasn't there for all of them, but he was there for most of them. I wasn't there for all of them either, but I was there for most of them. So, anyways, that's a hell of a milestone. Mike, what do you think of hitting almost 250 pods?
Wow, man. I can't believe the time. I was just thinking when you said that, Matt, I started on pod number 3, and
was it 3 or was it? It was 3 or was it 4? I don't remember.
It was 3. Yeah, Black Panther, and wow, it's been I don't know. It's been a while, man. How long have we been doing this? 3.5 years? 4 years?
I don't think that long, but you want to know how many hours of potting that is, Mike?
I absolutely do.
If our average it's going to be picked up in the audio because I was using my keyboard, but oh wow, I had to do it. I wanted to know. So our average podcast, if we average it at 30 minutes, which we've had some that have not been 30 minutes, we've had some that have been 30 minutes. So I just went with 30 minutes as an average. It's 125 hours.
All right. I'm getting somewhere.
Yep. We're making a dent in the podcast world. Now, all 4 of our listeners have listened to the 125 hours. Thank you for very much. You're the best.
Yes, thank you.
So this week, we'll see how this one goes because this is a movie that has not been getting a lot of play. It's not doing well at the box office. It is on HBO Max. We're talking about the story of Serena and Venus Williams' father, King Richard. We'll get rolling right into it, but yeah, Mike, we'll see. I don't know. I'm interested to see if our numbers go up or down because I want to see if people were paying attention to this one. I know I got some flack about it on the radio, which you'll hear here in a little bit. They wanted us to do House of Gucci, which came out and everybody and their mom saw this past week. But I think King Richard, this is a decent pick for Thanksgiving, and it was my pick, and let's go from there. But Mike, let's go ahead, get the show going with one of your segments. Mike, give us the rundown for 2021's King Richard.
All right, sure, Matt. This movie was directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green, written by Zach Balan. It's starring Will Smith, Anjanou Ellis, John Bernthal, Sayana Sidney, Demi Singleton. And like Matt said, it's a look into how a tennis superstar Venus and Serena Williams became who they are after their coaching from their father, Richard Williams.
I'm going to argue against that because it's called King Richard. It's more about the father than the 2 girls. And even then, not to get into spoilers yet, even then, this film focuses more on the older daughter, Venus versus Serena. And what's interesting, I don't know how much you know about the Williams sisters, Mike. I don't know a whole lot because I don't really follow tennis. I know enough, but I don't know everything because it's not really my sport. It's not my thing. But Serena is twice the, winner of Wimbledon and championships and all that stuff, earnings, everything, than her older sister. Twice. And this film was mostly about Venus. So anyways, we'll get into it. Mike, we'll start off with our typical topics and things, but Mike, first impressions, how's that?
So I like this movie. It was very well acted by Will Smith and all the supporting cast. It's kind of a crazy story, so it's a lot to take in. I, like you, don't know too much about tennis and have only heard the big names and never really watched matches or anything. I barely even remembered how to do the score from grade school with the love and all the different things. But anyway, yeah, This was an interesting movie. I think it should be doing better than it has been, and I didn't know that House of Gucci was going to be such a big hit. Maybe because it's got the Gaga.
I think it's the Gaga. Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, she just is, and it's another star-studded cast. And I don't want to jump ahead, but that is the film we're going to be doing for next week, because we did get a request from Miss Lisa Live and Local herself on Magic 99.1 that she wants us to go watch it and check it out. But no, this is a great film. I really liked it. It's wonderful and terrible at the same time, in my opinion, and we will definitely get into this in spoiler section a little bit. But Will Smith, he's definitely going to get an Oscar nod. I don't know if he'll win the Academy Award, but I guarantee you he'll be nominated. Another stellar performance from Will Smith. I mean, just hands down, blows the house off, just fan-frickin-tastic. But what I really loved is the two girls. Demi Singleton and I'm going to screw the name up. You got it right. Sanaya Sidney. I truly believe they are sisters. Like they really come off as sisters. And that was the kind of bonding that they had on set. One of them, I don't remember which one it is. My mom was going to talk about this on the radio, but she didn't. One of them is actually left-handed, and she had to learn how to play tennis right-handed because that's what the Williams sisters are, is right-handed. And so that's kind of shows their dedication. And these are young girls. I applaud them. I thought they did a really, really good job outside of Will Smith. And Angelou Ellis, she always does a fantastic job as well. But this is a great film. I want to say it's a feel-good movie at times. At other times, it seems really dark and neglectful, I guess is a nice way to put it. Like, one thing they don't talk about on the film, except for maybe one line, is that Richard Williams has more than one family. He has been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. And he has several kids from his first marriage it's literally one sentence in the movie. And it's like, wow, why didn't they explore that a little bit if this is the story of the man behind the girls that have been so successful?
Yeah, definitely. I ended up reading a little bit more about Richard Williams, and I was like, whoa. Yeah, like you only kind of get a little bit of an inkling of what was going on from the movie, like you said, Matt, with the one line. But yeah, this movie is dark several times in it, like just dealing with the various aspects of where the sisters are being raised, in Compton, and the living there lifestyle. So, and I mean, there's lots of other things, and then the history of Richard Williams, like. I mean, several times throughout the movie, he tells you stories about his past in Louisiana. So I think he had a very tough upbringing, which he alludes to a few times in the movie. And there's other times when it's real neat to watch when the sisters are starting to get successful, and it does seem like their dad is looking out for them. For his best interest, but at times, sometimes it looks like he is looking out for himself. I don't know. It is an interesting dichotomy of how to deal with kind of going from nothing to superstar and all the people and things that come along with that.
Well, Mike, I think you nailed it on the head. That's what the storytellers are trying to do, is show us how confusing this character or real living person, Richard Williams, is, and how selfish he was at times, and other times how loving and caring, and how he would do anything for his daughters. Now, the next thing, the 2 daughters, granted, are 2 of, I think, 5 that we see in the film. There's a lot more kids that Richard Williams has, but the 3 older ones, I think, are from Angelou Ellis's character's first marriage. They are not Richard Williams' kids, but he does take care of them almost as his own to a degree. except for when it comes to tennis. I mean, clearly he has dedicated his life to these girls learning and being the best when it comes to tennis. And one thing that makes, and we're going to get into this now. I know it's a little early, but we're going to get into it now. The real question is, did the Williams sisters really want to play tennis? Did they really want to do this? Or was it their dad and mom shoving it down their throats and they were too scared to stick up for themselves? I want to say there's a level of them of both, that they wanted to do it in some respects and they didn't want to do it in others. What's your thoughts, Mike?
I think it would have been nice if they kind of touched on that in the movie, and they don't really touch on it. When we start the movie, they're already at the point where they need to get more professional training, and they've been training for several years with Richard and their mom, and I think. Oh, I lost my thought.
I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to make you lose your thought. Or are you just that tired? I know you're tired. It's okay. It's okay. They do touch on it when they get their first coach. Paul Cohen, played by Tony Goldwyn, which a lot of you will recognize him. He's been in several things, mostly TV, but he has been in a lot of things, mostly as a supporting actor. One of the first things he asks after he does a warm-up session, deciding if he's going to take on the Williams sisters as proteges, I guess you would say, if he's going to train them, he asks them blatantly, is this for you or is this for your dad? Or what do you get out of this? Or where do you want to go with this? And Venus says she wants to win Wimbledon. And Serena says, I want to be a grand champion or the best ever or something like that. I don't remember her exact line. But they both said they wanted to be the best. So that's them touching on that a little bit, if it's them wanting to do it or if it's their father pushing it. My gut tells me I think their father pushed them a little bit harder than they're alluding to in the film. But that's my thoughts.
Well, I mean, definitely there's some of that, and that does come across in the film. And, but at some point, the Williams sisters made the choice that they want to do it, because you can't get to the level that they got to without actually wanting to be there. Like, it's too hard. You have to work too hard, So, I don't know. Now, in the beginning of the movie, Richard Williams talks about this plan. He has this plan, and it's in his plan, and no one really gets to see the plan. He just talks about the plan a lot, and it's a little bit like, well, is he really like a prophet? I don't know. Like it's a little bit strange. Like, it's just amazing that they are as good as they are, but a lot of that's physical too. So like, how do you know that your kids are going to be able to have the physical abilities on top of the intelligence and all the things. So I don't know, man. It's an interesting story for sure.
Yeah, and they even allude to that at the end credits, how pretty much everything Richard Williams predicted came true. How Venus won Wimbledon and she, became number one forever, and then quickly Serena came over and she became number one, and it's become the best there ever was. And as of right now, they still are. Like, Serena is still the number one tennis player that has ever lived. Venus is the number two to this day. And it's crazy because when you look at Serena's stats, her stats are literally double what her sisters are. And she's still, number two. I mean, it just tells you the accomplishment that these two women did. And, the freaky thing too, Mike, they're our age. They were born in 80 and 81. Or 79, I think, in 81 or 80 or something.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Well, I mean, we're not in spoilers yet, but so I'll get us there. Matt, what are you drinking?
Well, Mike, thank you for asking, sir. It was about time. Mike, I am drinking a Blue Moon Belgian White. Just a good old Blue Moon because it's in the fridge.
Nice, Matt. I alluded to this earlier before the pod started. I am drinking a seltzer. Now, it's not just any kind of seltzer, Matt. It is a pumpkin seltzer.
Interesting, Mike. So you're keeping the pumpkins alive in all flavors now. Are you going to get pumpkin vodka? Now, if you get a pumpkin spice latte, I'm out, unless there's some bourbon in it.
All right. Well, I don't know if there is pumpkin vodka. I'll keep my eye out. There probably is, because there's pumpkin everything. I mean, we've got pumpkin creamers and pumpkin candles and pumpkin everything, but I don't know.
No, you're a pumpkin.
That's what I'm going to turn into soon, man. I'm tired.
You are. You're gonna turn from your carriage into a pumpkin again. So right now you're the carriage.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's like, was that Cinderella?
Yeah.
Which one was that one?
Yeah, Cinderella. Which one is that one? How the hell am I the one that knows this and you're the one that's breeding? I'm not the breeder and I know this shit. You're also the more hardcore movie buff and you still don't even know, Mike. How dare you? I mean, I am canceling my Disney Plus subscription for you to log into. How dare you?
Okay. Man.
That was a rant.
I got canceled, everybody. I got canceled.
Is that what it is? I cancel your Disney Plus subscription. That means you're canceled on everything.
I guess. I don't know. I've just always wanted to cancel something. So I didn't want to be the cancelee, but it looks like I am.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Well, I would love to cancel something. It seems like every week I'm buying another subscription service. You know, now I have Paramount Plus. God damn you, Yellowstone. God damn you. So
yeah,
good.
Man, they're all over the place, man. The streaming services. Next thing you know, Matt, you're gonna have to get Discovery.
Dude, I'm sure you're gonna get it at least on a yearly trial for that one time a year. It's called Shark Week.
Yeah, I might.
Okay, Mike. So let's get to it. The most important question of the podcast. How does King Richard relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. So this one, I was a little bit. So John Bernthal was in The Punisher in the Netflix series, but I know that's MCU, but it's kind of not. I don't know. It's a little bit gray area. So I kept digging, Matt, and I found a hairstylist in the makeup department, Jessica Lou Allen, who worked on Black Widow.
Good job, Mike, because technically John Bernthal is not in the MCU yet. There are rumors that he will be coming back as Punisher in an MCU television program and or movie. But right now, they're just rumors. Oh, speaking of that, Mike, have you started watching Hawkeye yet?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'm going to try and start streaming it. I know there's a couple episodes available. There might even be... Is the third one come out? It's weekly now, right? It was 2 dropped at once and then weekly?
Yeah, and I believe there's only 6 or 7 episodes. It's not a whole lot of episodes. But this TV show so far, I've watched the first 2, so far is based on pretty much the best comic book run of Hawkeye ever. I have the whole run. It is absolutely incredible. It is well worth a read. They're sticking to it to a degree. They have... Lucky the Pizza Dog is in it. Oh my God, it's so awesome. Pizza Dog is in there. So anyways, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but for those of you who are apprehensive, don't be. So far, it is absolutely amazing. Now we'll see how the show ends, but it's starting out great.
Well, that's cool, man. That's very cool. Yeah, I know. What was it? Some of the other series that they've released have only been 6 to 8 episodes. So, I think some of the production value stuff eats at the budget.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I mean, they're long episodes. They're a good solid hour. So I'm okay with it. I would love to have 10, but you can't have everything. And I know this might be a little controversial, but I still think my favorite to date is probably WandaVision. A lot of people really hated WandaVision. I loved it. I thought it was very cool. But Hawkeye is probably going to be a close second, or Loki. Loki was very good. I really liked Loki, and I wanted to hate that show, and it was very good.
Loki was good, man. The ending, I really want to see where it's going.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, all right, well, we'll get off the MCU train, but I just wanted to throw that out there that if you're hesitant on Hawkeye, don't be. It's good. It's real good. At least for me. I like it. But, okay. Spoiler section. We've already pretty much spoiled the living hell out of it. Doesn't matter. This is a true life story. It's a biopic. Whatever. Mike, let's just keep our talk going about the girls. One thing for me, and we've discussed this before the pod, I've discussed it with everyone, including on the radio station, my mom, everyone that's, I've talked to about watching this movie and reviewing this movie. I really just hate that it wasn't more about the girls. I really, really think those girls deserve a lot more because they did so much. I mean, it was incredible. Two of them that are just this good. It should have been more about the girls. I wish they would have had more about their adult lives. We get a lot through the credits. We get like some end slides where they talk about it and they show the actual footage and everything, but I wanted more about the girls. I really did.
Yeah, it probably would have been neat to see some of the stuff of them actually, once they kind of went pro and kind of how that went, like maybe just a little bit into their career, instead of just kind of ending at the part where they're basically just starting their career, and really just Venus, right? Like you said, Matt, they didn't focus on Serena that much, and at the end of the movie, Richard, tells Serena, you know why we're doing this for Venus? Because I know you're a fighter and you're going to be the best there ever was.
Which is true, but it feels like they did a disservice to her. But the girls were on set multiple times. I don't think there were producers. They might have been producers, but they were on set many times. They read the script. There's behind the scenes. If you have HBO Max, there's behind the scenes where it shows the girls meeting the actresses that are playing them, and they walk into Will Smith and they call him dad and everything. It's really kind of fun. But, I feel that they just got the shaft. I mean, you barely even see much of Serena's story at all. Yes, Venus was the first, of the two, but Serena came on a couple years afterwards and just destroyed, man, and continues to this day.
Yeah. I did like John Bernthal's character. He seemed like an interesting, factory of trying to create pro tennis players, and I looked him up too after the movie, Matt, and he operates out of Florida, and I was wondering did he have anyone else of note? And yeah, he's actually coached quite a few, and he's made it into the Tennis Hall of Fame as a pretty young, I guess. I think he was the youngest person inducted for all of his work in tennis. He was a pro himself, and then opened up his school, I guess, after he retired. I mean, some of that stuff's not very clear, but yeah, it was interesting. I liked his character. His character was kind of fun, and he had to take a lot of crap. I was amazed that he did.
Oh, it's incredible the kind of shit he puts up with from Richard. I mean, he really puts up with a lot, and it's all hoping at that end game. And that's one of those things I was questioning in my head, was one of the deals they signed, and they talk about it, in the living room in Compton, where Rick Macy gets 15% of everything that the girls make. And I'm just I wonder if that's still going on today, because that's a hell of a deal. I mean, yeah, it's a gamble. It's just like any other gamble. They might be absolute trash and you wasted all that money, but to being the best, I mean, I think, Venus Williams made, I think she's around 47, 48 million, something like that. And Serena's around 90 to 100 million. And does he get 15% of both of those? I mean, he's good. Like, he's good for a while, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if that's permanent. Like, I don't know if there was some statute of limitations. Of course, they're not going to talk about any of that,
Right.
but
Yeah, right. Or there's like a cap, like he profits like $2 million and done, you know, something like that. I'm sure there's some kind of stipulation in it, but that just had my mind kind of thinking. But John Bernthal, man, I love him. He has really come into his own as an actor. He's just, the roles he's been taking lately are just completely opposite of everything he's done. He's always been this badass, hardcore villain almost, like from Walking Dead, Punisher, and to see him as Rick Macy and this humble guy that's just trying to, you know, help these girls, and he's just getting belittled by their dad, like left and right on everything.
yeah, oh yeah. No, he had to take, like, he did believe in the girls though, and he trained them like crazy. So like, he is partly one of the people that helped really get him to the next level.
Well, all right, Mike, what else would you like to add about King Richard, or do you think we've jabbered on enough?
I mean, I guess we've talked about it a little bit, but like, it just seems like Richard was such a hard person to live under in some ways. His rules and weird things that he had to do. I imagine the movie showed a very like a Richard Light version. Like, I imagine it was a little bit harsher than what we saw, you know, like when he was going to have the girls walk home because they were gloating too much. You know, like that was just one example, but there's just so many different things in the movie. I'm like, I wonder if that was actually worse than that. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's exactly how it was. Who knows?
Well, Mike, I have been a victim of having to walk home in the rain because of my father being pissed off at me. So we will leave that alone. That was a bad day. That was a really bad, messed up day. So it was very reminiscent of that for me. But of course, his, you know, Will Smith stopped, or Richard Williams stopped, but not my dad. He went home in the rain, motherfucker. Anyways, not to keep digging there. So, Mike, how many reels do you give King Richard?
Matt, I'm going to give this one 3.5 reels. I liked it a lot. It just, sometimes it goes a little dark, and yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, but I did like learning a little bit, get a little bit of a window into the tennis world. So I think it succeeded in kind of bringing the audience into a little glimpse of the tennis world and then where Serena and Venus came from. So 3.5 for me.
Well, Mike, I am back in form. I give this 4 out of 5 reels. I really enjoyed this film, even though there's a lot of things that I throw into question. Overall, it's phenomenal. The acting was very good by just about everyone. It's very realistic. It's shot well. It's not shot anything fancy. It's just shot well. You know, I know for a fact Will Smith is going to get an Academy Award nod. I don't think he'll get it, but I know he'll get nominated. I think John Bernthal should get support. You know, I really do. I think he did fantastic. So 4 out of 5 for me. Mike, next week, House of Gucci.
Yeah, House of Gucci. See what all this buzz is about, huh? Adam Driver, the Gaga, Lady Gaga. Well, there's quite a few other big actors in it, but those are the ones I remember off the top of my head.
Well, and you're tired, Mike, and you're old. You know, you're going to be 40 soon. How does it feel?
It feels fine. It feels wonderful. Everything's good.
Everything is awesome. Yeah?
Yeah, everything's awesome, man.
Yeah.
No problems. All those aches and pains, I don't feel them.
Wait. You know the one that's killing me, and I haven't done it yet, is eyes. I have to go get my eyes checked out because, you know, 40 is when everything goes to shit on your eyeballs. And so I have not had an eye exam since, I don't know, college, high school. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, well, me being blind as can be, I have an eye exam every year, so so far so good. I don't have reading glasses, but soon I'll have to have reading glasses and corrective lenses. It's going to be great.
So you're going to get the bifocal contacts?
Oh, I don't know. Those are expensive. I might just have a pair. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, Mike. Poor Mike. All right. Well, stay tuned. Ma Henshaw and me coming on the pod afterwards from our radio interview. Other than that, Mike, enjoy being blind.
Okay, Matt. Thanks.
I don't know. That's one thing that's interesting in the Hawkeye show. Here I go going back. In the Hawkeye show, Hawkeye has a hearing aid, and that is right out of the comic books.
Oh, nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I guess with that, we can go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and go out there, watch a movie, stream a movie. You know, try and enjoy the holidays a little bit. And since everybody's out of everything, you don't have to go shopping anymore. You can just go watch a movie. The theaters would love that. You know, buy a popcorn. Yeah. So with that, we'll have the House of Gucci next week. And, catch you next week. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Joining us in studio, like he does every Monday morning, it's Matt Henshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast to talk about the movies. Good morning, Matty.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Is that your happy voice?
Sure.
Good.
Why not? I'm full with turkey voice. How's that?
Matt is very sarcastic, if you guys don't know that about him.
Very.
But he's a ton of fun. I'm glad you're here. I'm not so happy that you are not reviewing House of Gucci this morning, because all the buzz is about House of Gucci, the new movie with Lady Gaga in it, especially since we are a radio station that plays the Gaga.
Well, I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm glad you say it the same way that I do.
What? The Gaga. Yeah, Gaga.
Yeah. Lady Gaga.
Well, and I hear that it's pretty good. I hear that the acting is superb in House of Gucci. I hear that it's long. It's a sad story, but beautiful scenery. That's what I got from my sister Gabrielle, who saw the movie in a timely manner last night.
So you don't need me anymore. I'm out.
You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it yet.
My ma saw it.
Oh, we'll have to ask Ma Henshaw what she thought.
Well, I don't know if you want to ruin it, because we are going to do it next week. We're just kind of a week behind trying to...
Yes.
We're trying not to be like everyone else, I guess, is the nice way to put it, is because...
Okay.
Our numbers are not very good, and so I'm trying to change things up a little bit.
Your numbers on your podcast?
They're terrible. They've been terrible since the beginning.
Okay,
so.
Magic Family, can you all do us a favor and go and download and listen to Matt's podcast so he doesn't feel like he's not getting any attention for his efforts?
For those of you listening, this is not me groveling. This is Lisa groveling.
For you.
For me.
For you, yes.
Terrible.
Okay,
I'm just trying to change things up a little bit.
Okay, all right.
But anyways, it doesn't matter, because we have another Marvel movie coming here this month, and that'll be,
okay, yeah.
we'll have to do that.
That might be your problem. You guys focus a lot on the Marvel movies.
Well, because we have a major segment in our podcast that you've never listened to about Marvel.
I didn't know.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'll get back on track.
Okay.
King Richard is what we watched.
King Richard, and that's the movie about Serena and Venus's dad.
Yes.
The Williams sisters.
I wish
the
it would have been
amazing tennis greats.
I wish it would have been a little bit more about the girls. Yes.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, and I think that's why it kind of got a bad rap before it even came out.
It's good. It's really well acted. The story is, how do I put it without ruining it? But it's really excellent and sad at the same time.
Yeah, we kind of know the story. I mean, he's going to sneeze on national radio.
I'm trying not to. National radio? Wow, someone all of a sudden just got real big.
In my own little mind, anyway.
National radio.
Okay, so we all know the story. This dad pushed these two girls to become
Well, see, that's my
tennis
question.
greats.
That's one of my biggest questions that
Yeah.
I'll probably get more in depth when we record the podcast.
Okay.
Is did he push them?
Right.
Or did they choose to do it? Because it's kind of, why would you push them to do something so hardcore if they don't want to do it?
Right.
And be really successful at it, because they're going to resent you literally for the rest of your life.
Right. Well, you saw the story. Did the kids resent him?
It doesn't, that's where I'm confused.
Okay.
It sounds like it, but not. So like there's a scene where they're interviewing and talking with a coach because they're trying real hard to get a coach so they can get to that next level. And the coach blatantly asks them, you know, is this for you? Is this for your dad? Or where do you see yourself? Or what do you want to do with this? And both of them say, you know, I want to be the first one to win Wimbledon.
Okay.
You
So
know,
the movie should have been about the girls' drive to be number one.
I wish it was more about the girls.
Dad
yes.
is a supporting character in this story, but how many reels are you going to give it?
I liked it. It was really well acted.
Okay.
But the story, you know, 4.
Lost.
I give it a 4 out
You
of 5.
give it a 4
yeah.
out of 5. I still will see the movie.
I'd say most of it's probably Will Smith's acting because he's phenomenal.
well,
he just
he
is.
is.
Oh, and I have to throw this out there because I know my mom's going to talk about it. The
Okay.
two girls that
Yeah.
played Venus and Serena
Yeah.
did a fantastic job. They really felt like sisters. They
Okay.
really did. And they're not related at all.
Okay, well, with all that being said, I will probably see that movie because I'm a huge fan of the Williams sisters. I am in awe with their athleticism and their accomplishments in their lives. So I'm hoping to have a little more insight on the girls when I see the movie, but maybe not.
It is very much your kind of film because it
Yeah.
is a drama.
Okay, there you go. So you're giving it 4 out
4
of
out of
5.
5, yep.
And then you're going to see House of Gucci next week.
Yep.
Okay, let's call the Ma Hinshaw and see what she thought about King Richard. And maybe she can give us a little preview of House of Gucci coming up on Magic.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ma Hinshaw on Magic 99.1. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm back home.
Did you have a nice
And-
Thanksgiving with your family?
Yes, it was a lot of work.
You know, our trivia question on Friday was 78% of people would rather go to a restaurant than cook Thanksgiving dinner. Are you part of that 78%, Ma Hinshaw?
No, I love cooking. I made 3 pies, one of them a chocolate pie, which my son took home.
Oh, that would be Matt, her only
And
son.
no, I like cooking, and I did the stuffing and the turkey. I didn't do the ham, though. I was, but
You were
I was
lazy.
staying at
You
my
were
daughter's,
lazy.
You know.
No, I you know what? The only thing I cooked was the green bean casserole, so I'm the lazy one, Ma Hinshaw. Yeah, we went somewhere. We went to my brother's house, so I only had to bring one thing, and it was lovely.
Next
Oh,
year,
that
we'll get
was
McRibs
nice.
from McDonald's.
Well, I'm going to make up for it at Christmas. Everybody's coming to my house at
Oh,
Christmas. so
yeah, you're
I'll
in
make
trouble
up for
then.
it.
Yep.
So Matt
Oh,
said
yeah.
that you saw 2 movies this week. You saw King Richard and House of Gucci. Now let's talk about King Richard first. Your thoughts,
Okay.
Ma Hinshaw?
I really enjoyed it, but I thought it was a little slow. In fact, I fell asleep the
You
first
did.
time I watched it.
Okay.
So I said, okay. And I used to play tennis in college, and I understand all that. But there was a lot of how you play and how you fix your backhand and, all
Okay,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell asleep. My bad, I pulled a Dave Hinshaw. But anyway, I second time through was a lot better, but I admire those girls
Yes.
tremendously that did that part.
Yes.
They were so good.
Okay, I can't wait to see those little actresses. And Matt said that Will Smith was amazing, but that's, a given.
Yes.
He's so good in every movie that he does. But tell me, did you think that the movie was appropriate to be about the dad and not the actual stars?
Well, I kind of wanted to know more about the girls
Yeah.
and who they were, what they liked, and it was tough when Dad said, no, you can't have that cookie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I did want a little more of the girls. I
Okay.
agree with that.
That's probably why it came in 7th at the box office. Not a real big hype
Oh.
for that movie, but a big hype for House of Gucci, which I heard you saw as well. What'd you think?
Oh, I really liked it. I want to take my husband to see it.
Oh, he didn't go yet, huh?
No, I was up in Phoenix. Wait, where was I?
Yeah. Okay. You were at your daughter's in Phoenix. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I was in Phoenix. Yeah, I was when I saw House of Gucci. It was good, but I'd like to see it again because there are a lot of nuances that I missed that I'd like to catch.
Okay.
And
Because she was sleeping
did a
again.
fabulous job.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that's all everybody's talking about today. So, how many cookies are you going to give King Richard?
I'm going to give that a 3.5 because I really wanted to see more about the girls' personalities and everything.
Okay.
Besides, I know they worked hard.
Okay. And how many cookies are you giving the House of Gucci?
I give that a 4. That was
4.
amazing.
Solid 4. All right. As always, we love hearing from you on a Monday morning on Magic. Ma Hinshaw, thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.